Tensions rising in the Middle East as Iran launches an unprecedented attack on Israel in retaliation for a strike at its consulate in Syria. We're learning Iran bombarded Israel with more drones and missiles than previously thought. The tally now more than 300. Many describing the attacks as a significant escalation.
This all comes more than 6 months after Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, murdering and taking hostages, which triggered the offensive in Gaza and then the subsequent deaths of thousands of Palestinians. But Israel did manage to fend off most of the charge in this latest round of attacks.
The Israeli Defense Forces says 99% of the missiles and drones were intercepted by Israel and its allies. The U.S. now confirming American forces shot down about 70 Iranian drones and 3 ballistic missiles. Still, a handful of missiles did land in Israel. At least 1 child was injured. 31 others suffered minor injuries during the rush to get to shelters. Meanwhile, President Biden spoke with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, pledging ironclad support from the U.S. despite continuing pressure to stop the bloodshed in Gaza. This was the middle of the night we're talking about when the missiles and drones began to fly. People were awoken, now sent to seek safety. Among them was our reporter traveling in Israel this week. He and his crew quickly evacuated to a shelter in their hotel, waiting for the all clear. That reporter, Josh Einiger from our ABC station in New York. As daylight broke in Jerusalem, he filed this report.
Dawn has now broken after a sleepless night in Israel. People who live in the north have been told it's safe to move away from their safe rooms, and Iran has told the UN that the attack is over. And now it's up to Israel to decide what it does next. The sky lit up over the Holy Land tonight. Unmanned Iranian drones streaked over the old city of Jerusalem, exploding in the sky as Israel's missile defense system picked them off one by one. They were drones fired by Iran in an unprecedented attack on Israel.
Iran has launched a direct attack from Iranian soil towards the state of Israel. This is a severe and dangerous escalation. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are at the highest level of readiness.
And by the end of the assault, Israel had managed to fend off most of them. Iran's supreme leader said of Israel, the evil regime must be punished for its airstrike on Iran's consulate in Syria, which killed several military officials. And officials say tonight's response appeared to be targeting Israeli military assets. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Biden returned early from his weekend in Delaware and huddled with his national security team. The U.S. military, which was already increasing its footprint in the region, confirms it shot down some of the drones in the coordinated response to Iran's aggression.
The U.S. has made it clear that they will do whatever they can to help Israel in this attack, but Iran has also said that if the U.S. helped Israel in this attack, that U.S. troops in the region would become fair game. And so the world has gotten very dangerous tonight, not only for Israel, but for the U.S. as well.
When those UAVs crossed over the old city of Jerusalem and we heard the sirens, our team of 3 retreated to a safe staircase and down to the basement until we got the all clear. And when we came back to this balcony, we heard more explosions, looked out the window, and saw fireworks rising from the vicinity of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. An apparent celebration by Iran sympathizers after the unprecedented action they took last night. In Jerusalem, Josh Einiger, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank you. And a reaction is coming in from right here in Southern California as well. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter spoke with a prominent local rabbi. She joins us now in studio with his message and what law enforcement is doing tonight. Leanne.
Michelle and Jory, reaction from the local Jewish community has been strong. Outrage and concern, not only for Israel, but for the entire Middle East region, as well as for America's national security. As the conflict between Iran and Israel continues to escalate, concern in the Jewish community here in L.A. for their loved ones abroad continues to grow as well.
It's a massive act of war by Iran directly against the state of Israel. For the folks who live in the L.A. area, it's also intensely personal. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of families.
Rabbi Abraham Cooper of the Simon Wiesenthal Center is scheduled to fly to Israel on Sunday to see his family if the flight takes off. Israel has shut down the airspace due to the danger. U.S. officials say the lengthy coordinated attack is coming from inside Iran as well as Iraq, Syria, and southern Lebanon. The targets appear to be 3 military bases, but Rabbi Cooper says the message may be much wider.
What just happened to Israel, that attack, is also a message from Iran to every single one of the Arab countries in the area. If we can do this to Israel, you better sort of all go in line.
Hundreds of missiles have been fired, most of them intercepted, some by U.S. forces. President Biden pledging his full support of Israel.
This is an unprecedented direct attack by Iran, not just its proxies, on Israel and on allied forces in the region. I say allied because America is very much involved in this.
The U.S. military increasing its presence in the Middle East, moving additional troops, ships, and aircraft into the area. What Israel's response will be to the attack remains to be seen. The impact could be far-reaching.
The big concern is that this will trigger a wider war in the region, that Israel will retaliate against Iran directly, increasing hostilities to an all-out direct traditional confrontation between two militaries.
And here at home, local law enforcement is on high alert. The LAPD and LA Sheriff's Department both say they are closely monitoring developments in the Middle East, but also say there are no credible threats here in Los Angeles. But as a precaution, they are adding patrols around sensitive religious sites. Lee Hyun-Suter, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.